The design of the 335 is absolutely timeless.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you, baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when even if I lost in my money, there's no one deep on it. And I don't need to speak to say no word, just you got me high. Even if my jokes are
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to start off this video by talking about this 335 right here. The design of the 335 is absolutely timeless. I honestly think that the 335, especially the 2008 model, is one of the best looking BMWs ever made. And I highly doubt any of you will argue with me on that one. I actually owned a 335 for a little bit over a year, and I gotta say, it was one of my favorite cars that I have ever owned. And today I will actually tell you why this car is probably your best buy and best bang for the buck, and why you should buy it while they're still cheap. This right here is actually my friend's 335, and it's 2008 model. And don't let the stock looks fool you, but it actually pushes close to 500 horsepower, 410 to the wheel to be exact, and close to 500 foot-pounds of torque. It's 500 horsepower, man.
So after all this, you might think I'm a little biased.
But I'm not. Whether I've owned this car or not, this is actually this is an incredible car. So the 335 actually has an inline-six 3-liter twin turbocharged, which is the N54 engine, and it makes 300 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque stock. The 0 to 60 for this car, which is what BMW says is actually 5 seconds or around there, but this is by no means stock. This car had a bunch of parts and a bunch of mods done to it, and it's actually pushing around 500 horsepower, which is a crazy number for how much you can get this car for. This car does a 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds. Last time we tested it, it did it at 3.9. And the car stock is, like I said, by no means slow at all. It's actually very quick. You put your foot down and it's gonna push you right back to the seat, and it's guaranteed to put a smile on your face, even when it's stock. However, wait till you see this. It pushes you right back into the seat. But what other cars for $10,000 you can buy right now that can do a 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds? You know what car can't do a 0 to 60 in 4 seconds? A Lamborghini Gallardo or a Ferrari 360. And this car is a tenth of the price, and it's so much quicker. It's crazy what this car is capable of. It's honestly insane.
What the tune that we put on is MHD Stage 2 Plus. When you drop it to the stock, there is a lag, and that's the biggest thing, right? Like, you remember when we drove it, when we dropped it just to test it with other cars, the lag is horrible, and you only feel the lag and you feel it's horrible just because we modified that one. So
no, but even when I did have my stock one, like, there is a noticeable like throttle lag. Even if you remember when we reviewed the 328, the throttle lag was very obvious. Even we've never driven this car, and you haven't had it at that point, and you can still notice it like right away.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So this thing stock, like I was saying, even though there is a slight noticeable throttle lag, you still notice the power almost immediately. It sends it right to the wheels, and like a simple tune, the cheapest one you can find, will get rid of that throttle lag right away. And the best part about this is that it makes the peak torque at 2000 RPM, so the turbo lag is almost non-existent. You do feel it a little bit, but then again, once the turbo kicks in and it pushes you right back into the seat even more, it's worth it.
With the tune that's on it, and the reason why it pushes you so hard in the back, the torque was set up in a way that it would start spooling at 1600 RPM. So it's always ready for you to just give it. The second thing is the reason why it shifts pretty nicely and it goes very smooth. It's just there's an Alpina tune on the transmission. It's just so smooth. I've been in a Tesla. Remember when I was in that Tesla before?
Yeah.
It's kind of similar, but not really. The Tesla gives you that push right off the bat, but when you're driving this car, like you're cruising, and then you drop it to second gear, when you're going like 40, 50, 60, and then you give it, it's the same exact pull that Tesla had.
Interesting. I've actually never been in a Tesla, so I don't know how the electric power feels.
Oh, it's
But
it will convert you.
yeah, I do have the pre-order on the Cybertruck, so we'll see how that goes when it gets in, if it ever gets produced at this pace. But like I said earlier, this car is not stock. This car had a whole lot of parts change on it, some of it which were upgraded maintenance, and a lot of others were just pure power mods. I won't bore you in this video with all the details about what mods have been done, but if you do want to see an in-depth video about what has been done to this car, leave a comment down below and let me know if you do want to see it, and I'll make a video going into complete detail about what's been done to this car.
And smash the subscribe button.
Some actually call the N54 engine the German 2JZ, which honestly, they're not wrong. This car is making this kind of power right now on completely stock internals. And I've seen people push close to 900 with a single turbo upgrade, but on completely stock internals. Yeah. And also, I would like to say that this car has almost 200,000 kilometers on it. And it's still running very strong. There's absolutely, like once you get all the maintenance done and everything, it's running completely strong. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it at this point. It's honestly crazy what this car, or what this engine can handle. Considering stock, it makes 300 horsepower. If an engine that you can push up to 800 while still being somewhat reliable, it's just a great piece of engineering. The engine is. The engine is.
No, N54 bulletproof.
Yeah, the engine is reliable. Other BMW parts are not the greatest.
Absolutely.
0 to 60 times aside, cars are not just about going in a straight line. This car does a whole lot of other things really well aside from just that. This car actually handles amazing. This is a car that I feel very comfortable throwing around a twisty road without being worried that I might lose control. This car is very predictable. Even with the turbo when it kicks in, once you drive it for a little bit, you'll know when the turbo kicks in, and you'll just feel comfortable with it because it doesn't just completely go bonkers and just throw the car everywhere. It's still very, very manageable. The suspension on this car is sports tuned, so it's a little bit on the rougher side. You can still feel every bump in the road, but it makes you feel connected to the road, and it doesn't just fight you while you're driving. The power delivery is also very, very smooth, and it won't surprise you. And also the thing is about this car, there's almost no turbo lag. The peak power happens around 2000 RPM, and it just keeps on going until you get to the red line. So tell me a little bit about this tune. What does this car have?
So I have a separate phone for this car because there's a license on it. So it's an MHD Stage 2 Plus, which basically you need to have an upgraded intercooler and upgraded and like catalyst downpipes. That's pretty much all you need to do, and you have to put 91 octane. So the best thing about the tune is the exhaust burbles. You can set up your exhaust burbles as much as you want. You can have it very aggressive, not very aggressive, or not have it at all, which I don't know why you would do that, but you can set up how long do you want the burbles to go for, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 second. Pretty much I had it all the way to the end on this car, very aggressive, longest burbles. It's just nice when you just downshift and leave the car do its own thing.
Yeah. And let's see if you guys can hear right now. Well, let's open this up a little bit.
You can feel it.
So the one thing I really like about the MHD tune is that you can literally just hop on your phone and change anything in the car to make it the way you like. Winter's coming up and you don't want all that power, no problem. Just hop on your phone and literally just drop the power back to stock.
Pretty much.
You don't have a lot of pops you can't hear while you're driving, also no problem. Hop on, put her all the way up to the max.
Turn it up.
Oh, okay.
Turn me up. That's the max.
It's the max. That's the max.
I put down next to your I got a Draco with 30 quid.
And it's just that simple, and that's one thing I really like about the MHD tune. It literally allows you to make the car into literally what you want. It's like a canvas that you can just start painting on.
The other thing about the MHD, which I find a lot better than all the other, not all of them, like from my knowledge. Remember that car that we were looking at? It was the manual black.
The manual black 235, yeah.
For you to change the tune, you have to go on the steering wheel and you have to press a couple buttons.
I think he had the what?
Yeah,
JB4,
I
I
don't
believe.
know.
I don't know what it's called to be
But
honest.
it was just like he it's his car, and it took him so long to figure it out and like do it again.
Yeah,
Not saying
I remember
anything.
that.
It's just so much easier.
Let's talk about the interior. This car has the perfect mix between luxury and performance. It's got heated leather seats, a sunroof. You can even get the heated steering wheel as well. It has paddle shifters, and let me tell you, they are super, super responsive. But this steering wheel though, okay, I don't know if you guys remember from my video on the 328xi, the one complaint I had about the steering wheel is that it was too skinny and it just didn't feel good to hold. This fixes that problem completely. It just feels good in the hand while you're driving. However, it is 2020, and I gotta say, the interior on this car is not the most up-to-date and like at all. This is the worst part about the car, is the interior. So it is 2020, and if you look at other cars like the Mercedes-Benz, they literally have a screen across the whole dash. And when you compare it to that, it's just not the best thing. So if you're looking for the newest and the latest tech, this is not gonna cut it for you. But if you're looking for something that's actually very fun to drive and enjoyable, then this is the car for you, basically. So the seats in this car are actually very, very nice. One complaint I had with the 328xi is that the seat wouldn't hug you. So if you go around the corner, I was literally sliding all over the place. But this seat has so many variations, it doesn't matter who you are, you'll find something in there that you'll feel comfortable in.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, look at me. Compared to him, I'm skinny as shit, and I can still fit the seat, so it's still comfortable. And when he gets in the seat,
support, and then it hugs you. You can
exactly. You can
inflate
change
it from the side. Yeah.
Exactly. You can literally have a setting that's perfect for you, no matter who you are. You'll find something in here that will fit you right. Getting in the back of this car is not fun by any means. This is actually probably the worst things about this car. If you're an adult, 5'9" or over, which I am 5'9", getting into the back seat of this car is not fun. However, it is kind of easy though. You just push this button right here, move the seat all the way forward, get this, push back, and I will get in the back seat. Doug DeMuro style. And then you get the seat back, and if honestly he was sitting in the front, the seat would be like this.
Which is not gonna happen.
Actually, it ain't that bad. I take that back. Like, hold on, is this the farthest back? Oh, okay, yeah. If he was sitting right now, there is no way I'd be comfortable in here. My knees are literally touching the seat. Look. And once he sits on it, it's gonna be like this. And now look. It's good maybe for taking some kids around. It's got a lot of storage in the back if you have a lot of groceries that you want to move, like transport or other things. I'm not gonna judge you, whatever you want to transport. But yeah, getting out of the back seat is just a little bit easier than getting inside. So now that we've given you guys all the details and all this stuff, let's talk about how the car actually feels while you're driving it. Now this car feels incredible, okay? The steering is very, very sharp. You turn it somewhere and it will just turn right with you. There's not a time where I was like, oh shit, what is going on? No. The steering is very direct. Every time I point it somewhere, it just goes right there. And let's not forget how quick and responsive this car is. I'm gonna drop it right now in second, and look at this. It just goes. You can literally throw it around the corner, and like I said, because the suspension is so good, you can feel everything under you, and you can feel what the car is trying to do. It's honestly confidence aspiring. Now that we've talked about the power and how fun the car is to drive, let's talk about the gas mileage. Listen, if you're taking it easy and you're not always flooring the car, it's not bad. So he's been doing that for recently, kind of, because this is also hasn't been reset in a while. But it's averaging on the screen right now 11.6 kilometers or liters per 100 kilometers, which is not bad at all. When I had my 335, I was averaging around 14 and a half. And I was driving it a lot easier than he was. And also this thing makes 410 horsepower. So I saw the number, and to be honest, I was kind of shocked. I didn't expect it to be like that.
The horsepower, the more efficient the gas mileage.
Sure! Of course, that's how it works, right?
Trust me.
That's how it works.
Trust me, I wouldn't beat it. I mean, as a daily driver, it wasn't too bad, but I would say it was more on the gas than anything else, in my opinion. But all in all, man, I was driving a 500 horsepower car every single day. Like,
You really can't go wrong with
that.
that. But at the end of the day, if you want to enjoy this car to its full potential and like enjoy the hell out of it, it's kind of like owning a GTR. Well, power-wise at least, okay? So you get almost the same power and the same everyday drivability. But then when you're just bored and you want to kind of put a smile on your face, you drop it down, floor it, and you instantly have a smile on your face. It's just, tell me that's not worth it. And also with all the luxury and the stuff that you get in the car, the suspension, the way it drives, the leather seats, the sunroof, everything, I say it's worth paying that little bit of extra on the gas, just so you can get to enjoy a car like this.
Some might say BMW stands for break my wallet, which in many cases they're not wrong. But if you're a car guy, chances are you know a thing or two about cars, and you're going to treat the car well. And I say this all the time, if you take care of your car will take care of you. And at the end of the day, it is a car, and no car is perfect. But in my opinion, there's a lot of good in this car that outweigh all the negatives. But yeah, that is it. This car is truly incredible, and I think this is the best bang for your buck. You get so much performance, a great level of luxury, and at the end of the day, it is a BMW. It looks and feels expensive. And if there's one thing BMW can do right, is make a great driver's car. And for under $10,000, you can't find a car as good as this one, with this much potential for modifying. I take this any day over the BMW M4, simply because of its price point. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, just go down there and smash that like button. And while you're at it, just click the subscribe button. It makes me want to do more videos like this for you guys. And hey, I'm not even making any money, I just love making these videos. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.